Well, we've got a good officiating crew. Lee Cassell, Bill Covington Jr., Tim Comer ready to go. Wake Forest won 75-73 3 weeks ago, or 77-74 3 weeks ago in Winston-Salem in overtime. And the Deacons get the ball to start tonight's proceedings here at the Carrier Dome. And the Deacon lineup, no changes there with Musius, Walton, Williams. Davian Williamson did not play in the first meeting between the two schools, and Laravia, who handles at the top. Williams, a back rim miss. Laravia makes the save. Second chance for the Deeks. And a foul on Gerard out on the perimeter.
That's actually, I think, Jimmy Boeheim they got.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Syracuse opens in the zone, of course, and Wake Forest really did a nice job getting the ball inside that zone in their first meeting. Jesse Edwards, of course, was in foul trouble the entire game.
Musius strokes a long three. And the Deacons on the board.
And Musius, of course, has had an outstanding season as well, Wes, in conference play. He shoots almost 40% from beyond the arc. You just can't give him that much room.
No real changes for Syracuse tonight as you see Edwards pivot around inside. And he is able to draw the foul, so Jesse Edwards will go to the free throw line. And the foul.
Yes, Edwards has improved so much over the course of his career, but he's still not a very powerful guy on the inside. He's going to get to go to the line. You really have fouls on Walton, but you'd really like to see him, you know, if you're his coach or his teammates, get an and one in that situation to finish that play.
Yep. Hit both free throws. He's a 59% free throw shooter. The Orange come in at 71.2, just a little below that mark in league play. Wake Forest a 1-point lead after each school's had it once. There's Walton at that foul line. And Alondas Williams at 2. And a kick out and a second chance again here for Wake Forest in as many possessions.
And Syracuse can't give that up. I mean, they did a really nice job with the first line defense, and then they lose it.
Steve Forbes, 56-year-old native of Lone Tree, Iowa. 23-20 with the Deeks, 319 wins in 7 seasons. He's, of course, counts some tremendous success at Northwest Florida Junior College, and he's really done a phenomenal job. 130 wins at East Tennessee State in his career. There's a throw, and Buddy Boeheim had it go between his legs, and Syracuse turns it over. Dan, we saw Wake, a shot clock violation. And, of course, the fixture here in Central New York is Jim Boeheim. 991 wins, second most all time. Deacons trying to find that crease in the zone. Musius, another long three. And Jimmy Boeheim grabs a long rebound.
And Wake Forest doesn't want to fall into the habit of taking nothing but long threes against this Syracuse defense. You've got to get the ball inside and attack from the inside out.
Gerard against Williamson. And here is Edwards. Big hop, skip, layup, good. 4 for Jesse Edwards, Orange in front. Yep.
And Edwards, I think, is a guy who's going to have to produce offensively. Wake's length and their athleticism really makes it tough for guys like Jimmy and Buddy Boeheim to create the kind of opportunities that they can create against most teams.
Here's Laravia. Now Davian Williamson will fire for 3. Misses badly. Alondas Williams the rebound. Trying to give Wake another chance and threw it away. Gerard. Now here's Jimmy on the drive. Kicked into the corner, and that's Swider's 3. Good start for the Orange, Dan.
Excellent start. I mean, they have to hit open shots. It's going to be hard for anybody to hit contested shots, but so far the Orange have been able to get open ones out on the perimeter, and Edwards has been able to operate inside.
Well, and on cue, Foul on Jesse Edwards, I believe, will be his first. Second on the Orange, and Jesse Edwards and fouls have been a common line for the Orange, especially in ACC play.
Now, Edwards is a guy that tries to block shots, and most shot blockers tend to pick up fouls, but you can't pick up the silly foul.
Been disqualified 10 times this year and 6 in ACC play, and you see Wake Forest squeeze around and get the layup from Williamson.
Just what you're talking about. Fouls per 40 minutes. Rama Sidibe leads the list there, but by Musa Keita, good heavens, that's a lot of fouls.
Yes, it is. There's Jimmy Boeheim in tight, pressured hard that time. LaRavia. Wake comes away with it, and Alondis Williams trying to get to the rim and can't finish. Fell off the front. Syracuse leading by a basket.
One of the other reasons that Syracuse has to run efficient offense is because once you miss, Wake Forest really wants to get out and go.
Swider got the bounce.
And that's the easiest way to prevent your opponent from playing in transition, is to make them take it out of the net and take the ball out of bounds.
4-point lead for the Orange. 4 minutes gone. Substitutions at the table already for Coach Boeheim with Benny Williams, the freshman there. LaRavia wheels around and can't finish it, but Williams taps home the miss.
Been a problem for Syracuse here early in the game. Their defensive rebounding has not been good. They've gotten stops, Wes, I think every time on the first shot. They just can't get the rebound.
There's Buddy on the drive. That got deflected away. Walton. And LaRavia and the Deeks looking for something. Davian Williamson knocks down a triple.
There's that transition we're talking about, Wes. You let Wake get out and go, and they can score a lot of points. They've averaged 88 points a game over the last 3 games.
Yep. And almost 9 threes a game in that process too, Dan. There's Edwards. LaRavia defended it well, gets the rebound. Here's Williamson attacking and scoring. 7 for Davian Williamson.
Yes, and particularly in transition, he's been able to get the ball inside, so they're making threes in transition, driving the ball to the goal.
Gerard trying to work all the way through. Missed the layup. Here comes Wake again off the miss. And deflected. Jimmy Boeheim touched it last. It's going to stay with Wake Forest when we continue. Well, you see Wake Forest, an early 3-point lead on Syracuse. Orange kind of had the upper hand. And by the way, here come the subs. You see Benny Williams, a 6'8 freshman, Bowie, Maryland, and Samir Torrance makes his first appearance. Did not play the other night in the loss at Pitt, but Frank Anselm, the sophomore from Nigeria, also out there. So that's it, Dan. That's the bench. All 8 have now seen the floor, and it's a little early, don't you think? But is Coach Boeheim seeing something over there, and he wants to dip into the rotation a little bit?
I think he does, because Benny Williams, according to all the reports coming out of Syracuse, has played very, very well recently in practice, and I think they want to give him a go in the game to see if he can continue that.
LaRavia, Alondis Williams, now Davian Williamson, who's been hot for the Deeks, with 5 to shoot. Here's Williamson creating again, down the lane, off the glass and in.
You know, one of the reasons you play that zone is to prevent the dribble penetration, but he just dribbled around until he found a lane and then took it all the way to the basket.
Buddy Boeheim trying to answer, turned over, and Alondis with the hammer. $11-0 the run by Wake Forest.
Now, Mucius guarding Buddy Boeheim, and it's awfully hard for Buddy Boeheim to get that turnaround jumper off in the lane with Mucius guarding him. And here's Davian Williamson. You mentioned he didn't play in the prior game. And now, that's not an easy shot, Wes. You say, okay, he made a layup. Well, that was a highly contested shot. That's just a guy making a great offensive play. That wasn't poor defense, that was great offense.
7-point lead for Wake Forest. Buddy Boeheim the answer. 3 ball from the corner. First basket for the Orange senior.
He did a great job moving without the basketball. He ran Alondis Williams off a couple of screens and didn't hesitate. Pulled the trigger immediately when he caught it.
You see Monsanto's checked in for Wake Forest, by the way. LaRavia can't finish. Hadim C is also on the floor for Forbes' club. And in transition, we'll get a foul on the Deeks as it looked like Anselm, or Benny Williams rather, had a head of steam trying to get to the basket.
Now, if you're Benny Williams, you don't want to get overly excited and go too fast, but this is a nice job attacking the basket. LaRavia picks up the foul, and this Wake defense, with their length, they can be pretty tough, so I think it's a good idea to try to beat them down the court in transition. You just don't want to take tough shots.
Catch and shoot 3 again. They crashed the glass. Last touch by Swider, I believe. Tim Comer on the baseline awarding it to Wake Forest.
I think if you're Syracuse, you take that catch and shoot 3, the open shot by Buddy Boeheim every time. A little bit more pressure on him that time, but still, Buddy Boeheim will make a lot more of those than he'll miss.
Here's Monsanto launching and hitting. Damari Monsanto's 7th 3 of the year. And he's not bashful, Dan.
No, he is not bashful. He has now attempted 23 shots on the season for Wake Forest. 20 of them have been from beyond the arc. And he comes in and he does not hesitate. He lets it go.
Nope. And we'll get a reach and a contact foul on Williamson. That'll get us to a break. First on Davian Williamson. Third on the Deacons, who have built a 7-point lead. A breakaway dunk for Alondis Williams. You know, they used to talk about the Forum out in Inglewood back in the day, Dan, for the front row seats. Remember that in the heyday of the Showtime Lakers? Well, who knew Central New York's kind of become the spot to be on a Saturday night? There is Giannis Antetokounmpo, the MVP of the NBA and the world champion Bucks, and his brother Thanasis are here tonight looking on. And of course, just a couple of years ago, a guy who's in the news this afternoon was courtside for the Orange and Carolina, and that's Tom Brady, who was with Julian Edelman and talk show host Jimmy Fallon. My goodness, the Dome had the GOAT a couple of years ago, and now here tonight the Antetokounmpos taking in the Deacons in orange.
You think basketball players might, to take their holiday, they might do something other than watch a basketball game.
Well, you never know, man. All sorts of things. Here's Benny Williams on the drive against Monsanto, couldn't finish. Recovered inside Anselm. And here is Torrance. Now we'll keep an eye on him after missing the ball game the other night with a knee injury, and a high arcing shot gets the Marquette transfer on the board.
Wes Carter-Witt is in the game for Wake Forest,
yep.
And I really think Syracuse feels like they can drive him to the basket. And Torrance is not a big scorer, but you saw him. He tried to take it all the way to the goal, and he converted.
Well, a quick double to LaRavia, and he's out of it to Monsanto. 10 to shoot. Here's Witt. Into traffic, C lost it, and then Wake turned it over. Well, Samir Torrance, Dan, missed the ball game the other night, but this is a good start for him off Boeheim's bench.
Well, one of the things with Carter-Witt, he can do an awful lot of things, but I don't know that he still has the physicality that he needs to play guard in the ACC. And Torrance is a guy who's got some experience, and he just drove right by him.
Yep, sure did. 5-point lead for the Deacons. Syracuse the ball after Wake's third turnover. Boeheim, quick push for Williams to the cutting Swider, and Hadim C forces the turnover. There's Alondis Williams, skip for Witt. Monsanto, another one, you bet. Damari Monsanto with a half dozen on 2 tries here early.
And he can really shoot the ball. When he was at he's transferred in from East Tennessee State. And when he was at East Tennessee State, 60% of his field goal attempts were from beyond the arc.
Buddy Boeheim the miss. And the rebound, Anselm, and a foul will be ticketed 2 to Wake Forest. So with 9:52 to go, Anselm will get some free throws. Don't forget, Tuesday night, we got a doubleheader of ACC basketball for you. BC, Virginia get us started at 6 o'clock. And then game 2, be interesting. Mike Pegues takes over as the interim head coach at Louisville. And they host North Carolina, presented by Geico. Dave O'Brien, Corey Alexander will be at the KFC Yum Center in Derby City for the Cards and the Tar Heels. Louisville lost 74-65. Carolina on Roy Williams' day beat NC State 100-80 in earlier ACC action.
Boy, that North Carolina's a funny team, aren't they, Wes? You sort of never know what you're going to get.
Well, I'll tell you what's been good to them, Dan, those 3 home games, right? Man. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday proved to be just perfect elixirs for Hubert Davis's team, who is now 15-6 overall. Caleb Love had 21. Armando Bacot's 16th double-double of the year today in the Tar Heel win against NC State. And a scramble off the miss by C. And a hell ball, I believe, is the call from Bill Covington Jr. And that will award it to the Orange.
Now, this is a situation, again, Syracuse gets the stop the first time, but they struggle to get the defensive rebound. And you got to credit Benny Williams right there. He does a nice job sort of waiting around until he has a chance to grab the ball without fouling. He's been aggressive since he came in the game. He's taken a couple of shots, done a nice job defensively, that time scrambling for that loose ball.
7-point game. Syracuse shooting just under 42%. And there's a foul as Williams cut it loose around the foul line area. Second on Jake LaRavia.
Williams doing a nice job moving without the ball, coming off the screen by Jimmy Boeheim. And LaRavia just a little late getting there, and that's what we're talking about. Benny Williams has been very aggressive on both ends of the court since he's entered the game.
Dan, these are just his 8th and 9th free throws of the year. He's averaged 5 minutes in the last 3 ball games, averaging 8 minutes in ACC play. As you see Musius report back for LaRavia, who's got the 2 fouls. Well, he's got a little bit of foul trouble here. And Williams hit the back end of the free throw.
That's Benny Williams over there. Really quick hands. Tipped the ball. Went off Monsanto. That's 4 turnovers on Wake Forest now. Steve Forbes does not appear to be very happy with the situation at the moment.
Yep. So now the Orange trying to take advantage here. Torrance on the drive. And now here's Girard. Going to pull up at the foul line and the window open. First points for Girard, Dan.
And he really needed that one. But again, Wes, I think if you see another example of the Syracuse guards trying to take Carter Witt off the dribble. Yep. That was not bad defense by Witt that time. A bank shot from that angle you don't normally expect it. Here's Benny Williams getting his hand on the ball again.
Yeah, another turnover by the Deacons here. 5 of them for Wake Forest. Girard scoops and can't find it, and a whistle and foul on the Orange.
And they're going to get Jesse Edwards.
Second on Jesse Edwards. Third on Syracuse.
And he's battling for the loose ball inside, and he goes over the back of Isaiah Musius. This looks like a rerun of the first game, Wes. He barely played 11 minutes in that first game because he was saddled with foul trouble in both halves.
And Anselm comes back into the game, the 6'10" sophomore from Nigeria. Here's Alondis Williams just rising in traffic, couldn't finish the short jump shot.
They need more of Alondis Williams on the inside.
Girard. Baseline jumper good.
And that's the kind of offense they need from Joseph Girard III. I'm telling you, that was another tough shot.
Orange riding a 6-0 run to get to within 2. Mucius. There's Carter Witt out front. Isaiah fires. Back rim miss. Deeks tried to keep it alive, and Monsanto could not. But it was last touched by Syracuse, so it's going to stay with Wake when we continue. 7.5 to go. Opening half at the Dome on a Saturday night. Joe Girard, who'd averaged just 5 points in his last 2 ball games, hit a couple baskets here to help spark the Orange.
That's sort of the Syracuse conference season in capsule. They've been really close a number of times. And now Wake Forest, the odd thing about that 3-point field goal shooting percentage, you see Syracuse was 8 for 29, but keep in mind in that game, Wes, they made their first 4 threes, so they're only 4 for their last 25.
Dallas Walton has come back as we rejoin the live action, and he gets his first field goal off the window. Snaps a 6-0 run for the Orange and pushes the Wake advantage back to 4. We've seen surges now, 2 by the Orange and 1 by Wake Forest in the early stages roughly of the first 12 minutes of this ball game, and Wake got one there to snap it. Anselm trying to burrow in against Walton, has to bail out to Williams.
Anselm's not going to give you a lot of offense, but this guy might, although Girard misses that one.
And a second chance in Buddy Boeheim. There's Benny Williams, and now Girard with 10 to shoot. Another long 3. And the Deeks boxed it out a little better there.
Yes, I think those are the kind of shots that Girard has to make if Syracuse is going to win this game.
And a foul on the Orange as you saw Wake Forest attack the baseline. And here's LaRavia coming back. Don't forget, we got women's basketball for you. Quadruple header tomorrow. The highlight is 4 o'clock start in Chapel Hill. Second meeting of the year between number 3 NC State and North Carolina. Roy Philpott, Brooke Weisbrod will be there for that one. And Davian Williamson comes back in this ball game and hits his second 3. He's got a dozen now in this first half to lead Wake Forest.
He has been basically the offense for Wake Forest at a couple of points, Wes, and he's having a fantastic game today, and he's had a fabulous year.
Boeheim on the drive, and Buddy scores. Second field goal for Boeheim.
Wake's size is really hard for Boeheim to deal with. That was a nice play.
LaRavia lobbing and a catch by Walton at the rim. Now they'll skip it back around. Davian Williamson feeling it. Back rim miss. Buddy Boeheim the rebound. Buddy long range. A little bit of a heat check, Dan.
Well, I would say it was, Wes, except he's not very hot.
Deacons turn it over for a 6th time. Dan, this is on the borderline of town, isn't it?
Well, I mean, he's one step past the S there at the middle of the court. I don't have any problem with Buddy Boeheim taking an early 3, but that was a really long 3.
Yeah, and he is 2 for 6 and 1 for 3 from behind the line. Still a 5-point Wake Forest lead. Swider, nice pass. Anselm for the dunk.
Really
crowd trying to rally the home team too, Dan. LaRavia pivots back for Williamson. There's Jake fighting through traffic and scoring. First field goal for LaRavia, Dan.
And that's really LaRavia's bread and butter right there. Getting the ball close to the basket, those drives, the short jump hooks. He can make a 3, and he can hit outside shots, but he's really good around the basket.
See Boeheim on the drive against Mucius. Now Swider a fall away. Rebound to Williamson. He had to chase it down. Here comes Wake Forest up 5. With about 4 minutes to go first half. Mucius tees up a 3 in front of the Orange bench. Syracuse the other way.
Good job by Wake getting back, though.
Gerard. Now to Boeheim. Backs down on Williamson. Nice feed. Anselm another dunk.
And Anselm's just doing a great job following Walton. When Walton goes over to block a shot, Anselm just follows into an open area. Really nice job by Buddy Boeheim to find him.
Couple of buckets for Anselm inside. And Wake's lead cut down to 3 there. Here's Alondis Williams. And over the back goes Jimmy Boeheim. That's his second. 5 on the orange. Timeout on the floor, but it's Frank Anselm now, the sophomore from Nigeria, who averaging just about 7 minutes a ball game in league play, but it's got a couple of dimes and dunks for the orange. Well, the Wake Forest lead is 29-26, Dan, but Syracuse has scored the ball, and some of it's come from the bench, but percentages are up, and Boeheim's got to like that, I think.
I think he does. You look at the last 2 games, Syracuse was just awful, and that's, there's no other way to describe those numbers, but tonight, even though they trail in the game, they're shooting it at a 45% clip. You're right, they already have 8 points off the bench. They only get about 6 off the bench during a normal game.
Of course, here
talking
tonight,
about the season average, and then tonight.
Anselm's got 5 of the 8. Here's Dallas Walton now. The zone collapses. Kick out Laravia's 3. And Hadim C couldn't control it. Anselm, you can see him maybe even getting a little confident as the game moves on. 3-ball, Buddy Boeheim out of the left corner ties it up.
And that's a great job by Syracuse to push the ball up the court, and before the Wake defense can get set and find Buddy Boeheim, they get him a wide open shot, and that was a little closer to the basket than that last 3 he tried.
Walton into the corner, Laravia right into 2 white shirts, back to Walton, and we just softly push up his second field goal to this first half.
Walton was a factor offensively at the end of that, toward the end of that first game these 2 teams played, and he was a great factor defensively down the stretch, and he's done a nice job early tonight. And there's Buddy Boeheim. Don't let him get rolling, because he can score a lot quickly.
Shoots for the lead. Orange in front for the first time since it was 9-7. Buddy Boeheim's got 11. 3 triples and a regular field goal in this first half. Walton to work, and he scores. And 1 on the play.
Go to the line.
What a response by Dallas Walton the last 2 times down the floor, Dan.
Well, Wake has been struggling trying to score against the Syracuse inside, and I think that was Anselm coming from behind. And Walton, he's not a guy who's going to give you a lot of offense, Wes, but he's 7 feet tall. He weighs 230 pounds. He can score on the inside.
And completes the 3-point play. Dallas Walton averages 8 against the league. He's got 7 here in the first half. Syracuse's 6 fouls you see on our bug. That's 3 guys with 2 each. Frank Anselm, Jesse Edwards, and Jimmy Boeheim. Inside 100 seconds to go in this first half. Wake Forest by 2. Davian Williamson has been the scoring star for the Deacons in this first half with a dozen. Monsanto a 3, got it.
And that was a deep 3. That's now 3 in the game for Monsanto. Excellent ball movement by Wake Forest, creates that play. And what a shot in the arm that is for Wake Forest to have Monsanto just suddenly show up out of nowhere unexpectedly.
Almost stripped it out of there from Buddy Boeheim. Here's Gerard feeding Anselm again. He'll miss the dunk, but draw the foul, I believe, on Walton. And with a minute to go, Frank Anselm's going to get back to the free throw line. Dallas Walton becomes the 3rd Deacon with 2 fouls as well. Dan?
And once again, Anselm does what he's been doing this entire game, and that is when Walton goes to help, Anselm goes to the basket. Wes, we were talking about Monsanto, number 30 there, you can see coming out of the huddle for Wake Forest. They didn't expect him to play this year. He tore his Achilles in July. They were talking about redshirting him. Heck, in the roster from the first couple of games, he's not even on the roster, but he worked really hard and he was able to get back. And so now this is only his 4th game of the year, but boy, when you got somebody like that who can shoot the ball, that's a big help, isn't it?
Oh, no question. And here's the other thing, too. He might have been more undersold by Steve Forbes than just about anybody else on his roster. Forbes said he's our best shooter. It's clear he's their best shooter because he's coming here tonight and gunned 3 threes. And, you know, Forbes is pretty serious with you most of the time. He likes to kid around, but he said, look, this guy can come in and fill it up. And Monsanto's been as good as advertised. Here's Anselm now to try and see if he can cut into the deficit, and does. There's a look at the 3 for 3 for Damari Monsanto from Pembroke Pines, Florida. By the way, he was the Southern Conference Freshman of the Year. I mean, it's not like the guy came out of witness protection to help this team, right, Dan?
Well, sort of he came out of witness protection because he was supposed to redshirt.
Well, what a nice lift Anselm's been. 7 points, 3 rebounds for Syracuse off of Coach Boeheim's bench, and there's a hand check foul, I believe, on Buddy Boeheim going around the top. Buddy tagged with his first, 7 on the orange. So 1-1 with 44 seconds to go in this first half. Kelsey Riggs, Dallin Cuff, and Carlos Boozer coming up at the half. You're right, he's not, Dan. He's a little sideways with Bill Covington, looking for a little more clarity, I think. Davian
Williamson,
guy
right here at the line, Davian Williamson, he has really kept the pressure on this Syracuse defense with his ability to attack the basket.
Well, Davian Williamson's on track to become a 50-40-90 guy, Dan. The ACC had a 50-40-90 guy last year in Trey Murphy of Virginia. 50 from the floor, 40 from 3, 90 from the free throw line. Do you know how many other players in the ACC have been 50-40-90 besides Trey Murphy's? A 3 gets knocked down by Girard.
I do not, but I do know that was an important shot by Girard.
You're right. Wake Forest here with about a 6-second differential and a timeout taken by Steve Forbes. And we're going to take it with him. We'll step aside. 2-point lead for the Deacs, trying to get the lead to the locker room at Syracuse. All right, so 2-point lead for Wake Forest. I told you Davian Williamson's on track for 50-40-90. Virginia's Trey Murphy did it last year. And you see he's 46 from the floor, 40 from 3, 91 at the line. Dan, the question is, besides Murphy, who else in the ACC has ever had a 50-40-90? And the answer is nobody else. How about that? Knocked away. LaRavia controls. 7 to shoot. Kick out. Williamson follows the script.
Boy, that is a tough break for Syracuse. They did a nice job creating the loose ball. They just couldn't come up with it.
Girard at the horn, and there is a foul called.
Weston, not only is there a foul called, it's a foul on Davian Williamson, I believe, and that would be his 3rd. He swats down at the ball as Girard goes to the basket. That is some play by Hadim C to get a finger on it. But that foul's on Williamson. I mean, in that situation, you just have to let Joe Girard go.
So the question, does he foul him before the half ends, right, Dan? Is this what they're looking for?
Yeah, that's what they're looking at. Well, now they're looking at if the foul is on Williamson, then they got to go and look and see how much time should be left on the clock. If Williamson committed the foul, there's probably about 0.8 left on the clock.
But Let me ask you a question. I saw Lee Cassell give the sign for the block, though, Dan. So does that mean it's on Hadim C? Can't be on Davian Williamson for the block, can it?
Has to be on Williamson, and it's not point. Okay, their math is better than mine. It's not 0.8, it's 0.2. The foul is on C. Okay, all right.
So that's a break for Wake Forest in some respect, wouldn't you say?
I would say it's a big break for Wake Forest. Of course, you never want to commit the foul, but it's really good that Davian Williamson isn't going to the locker room with 3.
So C's first, 8th on Wake Forest. Gerard going to hit both free throws going to the locker room. He's got 9, and it is a 3-point Wake Forest lead at the break, 42-39. Steve Forbes, hands on hips. He likes his team in front, but it's kind of been an indifferent first 20 minutes for both schools. All right, but are they living on that thin line that you stand on sometimes against Syracuse in this zone as we get ready to start the second half?
Well, they might be, Wes, but I think if you're Wake Forest, you've got to be optimistic about the fact that Alondas Williams only had 4 points, Jake LaRavia only had 2, and yet you still lead in the game. So again, the Deacs have a lot of different weapons, although it doesn't help when you throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, there's seventh turnover on the Deacons, starts the second half. You saw the note, by the way, 15-1 is Wake Forest when they lead at halftime. Gerard tried to lob inside for Edwards, and a held ball. And alternating possession will keep it with the Orange here early in the second half.
That's a break for Syracuse. Gerard threw that ball, and he threw the pass short, and that could have easily been a foul called on Edwards coming over the back.
So Buddy Boeheim will put it in play, and here's Gerard attacking off the dribble, and a jump shot good. So Gerard's got 11 on his fourth field goal.
I think attack is the word. I think that's what Syracuse has to do. They were 8 for 10 from the line in the first half, which showed they were in an attacking mentality, and they've got to keep that up.
There's the foul line catch by LaRavia. Back for Alondas Williams. The 3 bounds away, and Swider the rebound. In transition, here's Swider. And he gives Syracuse the lead. Cole Swider's 3rd field goal.
Now, it would really help the Orange if Swider would be that aggressive every time down the court. He doesn't have to shoot it every time, but he's got to keep the defense on. Boy, and there Jesse Edwards picks up another foul.
That's the 3rd on Edwards, 1st on Syracuse in the second half. But Cole Swider is a guy, Dan, averaging 12 and 7 against the league.
Well, it was a good fake that time to drive Jake LaRavia away, but a quick shot after he got open.
And Williams the catch, and Tim Comer off the baseline. It's on Joseph Gerard, the 3rd. 2nd on the Orange. It happened before the shot. And so baseline out of bounds play, and here's Musius launching. And Isaiah Musius, his 2nd field goal, also a 3. 6 for the senior from Brookhaven, New York. Gerard, kick out, and the lefty 3 for Jimmy Boeheim off the mark. Davian Williamson, he was cooking in the first half, had 17. Alondas Williams. Quickly LaRavia. Back for Alondas Williams, cutting through, deflected, now 10 to shoot. And Musius with it. Trying to find that crease. Here is Davian Williamson all the way through it. Got blocked out of there by the ACC's 2nd best shot blocker in Jesse Edwards. And ahead, here's Jimmy Boeheim kicking to Buddy for 3, and good.
Well, that's some great ball movement in transition by Syracuse. They're fortunate they didn't lose it there on that one pass, but they recovered nicely to get that wide open 3.
7th lead change, the Orange by a point. Walton tried to put Wake back in front, couldn't. Jimmy on the outlet for Buddy. Against Davian Williamson.
Trying to back him down.
Yep, and does, and scores.
And that's really a good, smart play by Buddy Boeheim. He's got a couple-inch height advantage, and he can get him down inside.
Musius a three. Long on it, last touched by the Wake. Yep, by the Deacons it was, and Bill Covington's going to award it to Syracuse here.
Now, Buddy Boeheim has had trouble getting open threes, but in transition you can get him, and you can thank his brother who made a really inside and then found Buddy in the corner.
Yep. So the lead is 3. Buddy Boeheim's got 5 of his 16 here to start the second half.
That's just a great catch on the inside by Jimmy Boeheim.
Gerard back for Buddy again. Oh my goodness, Dan.
Now all of a sudden Buddy Boeheim's heating up, and he had a guy right in his face, Wes, and this is just an ideal situation for Syracuse. They've gotten hot. Can they hold this 6-point lead?
Dan, he truly has been Buddy Buckets here in the second half, hasn't he?
Well, he's done a nice job. Jimmy Boeheim here gets the pass out to him. He sets his feet. He can really shoot the ball quickly. Here, he uses his size advantage on the inside when he has a mismatch against Davian Williamson. And this is a situation where he just makes a really quick cut, gets a very, very brief bit of room against Musius, and then shoots it with a hand in his face. He's 7 for 12 overall. He's 5 of 8 from beyond the three-point arc.
Yeah, the Oranges opened the second half, though, 5 of 6 from the floor and 2 of 3 from behind the line, and both of them belong to Buddy Boeheim, who plays at the top of the zone. Here's LaRavia trying to answer for Wake, and does. Second field goal. Jake LaRavia stops the 8-0 run by the Orange. We've had 5 runs of 6 points or more between the two schools in the ball game, and that's why we're standing with a 4-point margin about 4 minutes into the second half. Here's Buddy out of the timeout all the way through. The scoop got left short. Feeds Edwards, and he scores.
Buddy Boeheim left that scoop short because he had big guys all around him, and a nice job recovering that rebound and finding Jesse Edwards.
Monsanto has reported back for Wake Forest. Williams, Williamson, LaRavia, Walton, and Damari Monsanto. There goes LaRavia to the basket. And a 6-point lead now for Syracuse, and Orange looking to run, and here is Jimmy the catch and score.
And that's his first basket of the game, and really nice kick ahead by Joseph Girard.
Biggest lead of the game for the Orange. LaRavia trying to answer again, and Walton recovers and will draw the foul inside. Now, Jimmy Boeheim playing with 2, and so is Jesse Edwards, who's actually got 3, and we get a timeout. Swider tagged with his foul, but it is Jimmy Boeheim who pushes the lead to 8 when we continue from the Dome on ACC Network. The whiteout tonight at the Carrier Dome, Dan, apparently being well received as we come back to live action in Dallas. Walton at the free throw line for Wake Forest.
Well, I see all the kids with the white T-shirts, Wes, but what do the bananas have to do with it?
This I do not know. That would require a little. Okay, we've been told that Otto the Orange was throwing bananas into the student section, Dan.
Shouldn't he be throwing oranges into the student section?
Well, there again, brand identity, right?
It's not the Syracuse banana.
7-point lead for the Orange. Here's Swider, a fall away over the top of Monsanto, and the Orange is really shooting it well from the floor here in half 2.
Well, not only is Buddy Boeheim hot, but Cole Swider has been very aggressive, and their good hands creates the turnover.
Syracuse 8 of 10 from the floor in the second half to open a 9-point lead. It's an 18-6 run, and a foul called on Walton of Wake Forest here with Girard on the possession.
Weston, now what's happening here? If Syracuse is going to make baskets, and 8 of 10 means they're making baskets, then that means Wake Forest has fewer opportunities to get out in transition. And that's, it's just sort of a thing that just continues. The better Syracuse plays on offense, the harder it is for Wake to do what they do best, and that is get out and go.
Here's Buddy Boeheim out front against LaRavia. 16-footer is good. What a half. Buddy Boeheim now with 21 in the ball game. He's 20 or more, Dan, for the 4th time in the last 5 games, or 6 games.
Now, this is the guy right here, Williams, who's got to get going for Wake.
C turns it over. Here's Buddy against LaRavia again. They clear it for him.
Shot, isn't he?
In traffic. Good.
Oh. Well, he muscled that one up there, didn't he, Wes?
23 for Boeheim. 12 already in the second half. Lead is 13. The Deacons need an answer. Musius, the rebound of the miss. Alondis Williams travels.
Now, the Syracuse defense has been pretty good as well. Boeheim anticipating that pass, coming back out, and he's able to get it. And now this is just a really fine move. LaRavia really physical with him on defense. Nothing wrong. He made him stop, made him pull up, got his hands up in the air, but Boeheim's hot. Missed that one.
Front rim miss. Yep. Monsanto the rebound. He's got Davian Williamson, who was Wake's shooting star in the first half, with 17, but is scoreless so far here in half 2. Likewise for Monsanto. Monsanto tries to cut into it, cannot see the rebound. Bounce pass inside. Alondis Williams, a tough catch and score. He's only got 6 now on his 3rd field goal.
Yeah, but he's just going to keep coming at you. And that was a problem for Syracuse early in the game, their inability to secure the defensive rebound. It came back to bite them right there.
Well, you see the difference in the field goals made, let alone the conversion rate. Jimmy Boeheim misses the 3. It's an 11-point game.
Keep in mind, Jesse Edwards is playing out there with 4 fouls.
Tried to go to C, knocked away. Another Deacon turnover. Dan, that's 11.
You know, for a defense that's not very good, this Syracuse defense is playing pretty well, guys.
Yeah, absolutely right. Here's a catch by Edwards, and he missed the layup, but draws the foul on Hadim C.
Well, he missed the layup because Alondis Williams made a really nice play. Sort of got under him, made him worry about that offensive foul, and then he just doesn't have the strength to get it up there. Hadim C comes over and picks up the foul, though.
So Jesse Edwards and Syracuse get another possession here, and Buddy Boeheim. There's a feed, and Edwards the catch and score.
What a great pass by Boeheim.
Deacons need points. LaRavia attacks. Monsanto. Oh, Williamson handled a tough pass. Couldn't finish on the drive. Forbes got to be a little concerned. His team's hit a little bit of a drought at the offensive end. There's a turnover on the takeaway by Alondis Williams. And then did he lose it going out of bounds? Sure did. So Wake trails by 13, Dan, and well, there is one of our umpires tonight, Bill Covington Jr., who, nice man, Dan, as we know. A moment ago, though, we had a back bend at the scores table on Williams' takeaway, and then Alondis lost the ball out of bounds, and all of a sudden, Cub ends up pretty good.
Looks like
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Scores table on him. Now he's trying to concentrate so hard on whether the ball's going to go out of bounds or not. He just kept backing up and eventually ran out of space. He's lucky he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah, so all good. Orange have dominated this second half, by the way, outscoring Wake 24-8. And boy, the shooting just continues to be one of the stories again here tonight, Dan.
Well, the difference between this game and the last couple of games, that's remarkable, Wes.
Syracuse
They've
the
shot the ball very
out of
well.
the timeout.
But it's sort of been keyed by the defense. They've really been good in the second half, creating some turnovers and easy opportunities.
And a foul on Hadim C.
That was a really nice job by Jesse Edwards to work for position, but Buddy Boeheim did a really good job finding him when he was open. 3 fouls on C. And Jesse Edwards is playing out there again, Wes, with the 3 fouls. That's a tough shot.
And a follow by Swider. 11 for Cole Swider, 6 in the second half. The lead is ballooned to 15 now, 9 minutes in. And another turnover
by Syracuse.
13 turnovers in the ball game, 6 in the last 4 minutes against Wake Forest. Dan. And a quick reminder to you that Tuesday night a doubleheader on ACC Network, BC and Virginia. Get us started at 6 Eastern, then at 8 o'clock. Presented by Geico, North Carolina and Louisville. Tar Heels and Cardinals meeting for the first time this year on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. And there's Jesse Edwards laying home his 4th field goal, gives him 10 in the ball game.
Boy, what great control, body control by Edwards on the inside.
Well, the takeaway turned over by the Deacons. Lead
Great
for
pass.
Swider. .9-point lead. And the latest add-on, Buddy Boeheim leads it for Cole Swider. The bench and the dome love it tonight in Central New York. Well, everybody's getting in on it in half two, Dan. 69-50, Syracuse with a 19-point lead. They've outscored Wake Forest 30-8 here in the second half, and they've done it hitting 70% of their shots from the floor.
Yeah, part of the problem for Wake Forest is they're having a tough time getting shots. They only had 12 shot attempts to Syracuse 20 in this half, and that's because they've turned it over. They've got 14 turnovers in the game.
Deacons need a bucket above all else. And LaRavia barely got that to Musius. Here's Williamson out of the left corner, and Davian Williamson now has 20 in the ball game on his 7th field goal.
But that's his first field goal of the second half, Wes. Really good ball movement again by Wake Forest.
Buddy Boeheim wheeling into traffic. Swider, another one. 16 for Swider now.
We talked about how he needed to be more aggressive. Well, he's been extremely aggressive in the second half. You can just see his confidence growing.
.9-point lead for the Orange. LaRavia backs out, 7 to shoot. Williamson on the drive. Squeezes it up in traffic and scores.
How did he get that up? He's looking
not
for the
sure
foul as well.
Yeah, exactly. Litigating and see if he couldn't get an and one to it. He's got 22 in the ball game now. Anybody in a white jersey is eligible to knock something down right now. Swider fall away, sure.
That's really a nice job by Syracuse to just clear out space. Swider, about 6 or 7 inch height advantage against Carter Witt. Can't guard him down next to the basket.
Yep. Musius, Williamson, and a foul called on Jimmy Boeheim, which will be his 3rd.
And what created that foul, Wes, was Wake Forest not settling for the outside shot. They're not trying to make the tough pass, but getting the ball and driving it to the basket. So Jimmy Boeheim with 3 fouls, Jesse Edwards with 3 fouls.
Williamson, and it didn't bounce in. Last touch by Edwards. It'll stay with the Deacs. And a fresh 20. Jim Boeheim, his team shooting it incredibly well here in the second half at almost 73%. Musius, long three. And finally, Buddy Boeheim reels it in.
That was a great job by Jimmy Boeheim to get out there and contest that three-point shot.
On the drive and one. Everything going the Orange's way. Under 8 timeout at the Dome. The lead is 21 for the home team. Tonight at the Dome, Syracuse leading 76-55 with Dan Bonner, West Durham. Jesse Edwards, Dan, a double-figure night for Coach Boeheim.
Right, and the interesting thing about that, Wes, 6 of those 10 points have come here in the second half since he picked up his 3rd personal foul. He's also got a couple of steals, he's got a couple of blocks, and so you have to give him an awful lot of credit for being able to be aggressive and careful at the same time. But I think you have to tip your hat to Jim Boeheim for leaving him in the game when he picked up that 3rd personal foul early. The kid has rewarded him with some really good play.
5th double-figure game of the last 6 for Jesse Edwards. There's LaRavia inside and a foul. Jesse Edwards, of course.
And Cole Swider saying, no, it's me.
Yeah, that's where we've reached that. Have we reached that portion of the program where, well, they're going to change it here? Let's see. Bill Covington's at the monitor having a look. Nope, it's going to stay with Jesse Edwards.
And it's his 4th.
Yep. If you're just joining us, Jesse's fouled out of 10 ball games this year, 8 in league play. LaRavia the free throw. And Frank Anselm will get his spot in the lineup for Coach Boeheim.
Now, Frank Anselm, when he came in the first half, Wes, he made a big contribution to the team. Anselm had 7 points and 3 rebounds.
Grabbed his 4th on cue there. 20-point game with 7.5 to go. What a shooting performance by Syracuse here in the second half.
Well, they've gotten good shots, like that one. And that was a situation where Joseph Girard took that in there. He was looking to get fouled, and that is that the 4th foul on Damian Williamson or his 3rd?
Third, I think.
Foul.
15th foul on the Deacs. You see the senior from Winston-Salem, and here is Girard. 3 for 3 at the line. He had 13 points, 7 assists the first time they played, but had really struggled in the last 2 games. 5 points, 2 of 15 from 3, 6 assists, 9 turnovers, but that's all been forgotten tonight. The Syracuse lead is 22. They've hit their last 6 shots from the floor.
And they've been very active on defense. Really a lot of deflections and steals.
Yep. And Lucius almost lost it. Gathers at the baseline. And then turned it over. Wow.
Well, it's that defense that forced a tough pass by LaRavia, and then they came up with a steal.
Buddy out of the corner. Spins out. Alondis Williams has had a quiet night for Forbes' Deacons. And that is an offensive foul.
And this is Joseph Girard again, just doing a great job getting back on defense, moving his feet. You're allowed to move. Once you get in position, you're allowed to move. And anytime you get that shoulder into the torso, that's almost always going to be called an offensive foul.
Look at the 19 points off of Wake Forest turnovers tonight for the home team. Girard spins, threw it away to LaRavia. Deeks trying to flip the floor. Williamson cranks and hits.
And that's exactly what Wake Forest needs. Not only do they have to stop turnover, they've got to start forcing some turnovers to allow themselves to get some easier shot opportunities just like that one.
Davian Williamson adding to his total. He's got 25 tonight on his 9th field goal. And a spinning jumper for Buddy Boeheim.
And that's a tough shot over Paul Isaiah Musius.
3-ball Monsanto. He's got a dozen on 4 threes, Dan.
Well, we said that's his job. He comes in the game to shoot threes, and he is not disappointed tonight.
18-point difference, under 6 to go now. Buddy working against Musius. Oh my, shakes, bakes, and scores.
Wow.
27 for Boeheim. In the corner, Williamson sets another 3. Swider the rebound. Buddy a launch. Oh!
Well, he's feeling it, don't you think, Wes?
30 for Buddy Boeheim. Even the Greek freak likes that. Williamson answers on the layup and took a spill. Davian Williamson took a hard fall. Steve Forbes wanted a foul called.
Now, Williamson has really been doing a great job getting inside all night long. And there was contact, Wes, there, but I don't know that that was a foul. Anselm was stepping backwards, and he didn't drop his arms.
Well, for the 3rd time in his career, Williamson's made 5 threes in a game. He did it twice a year ago, the last time in March against Notre Dame. And there's going to be a foul on Buddy Boeheim, challenging Cameron Hildreth on the rebound. 2nd on Buddy, and the 5th. The Orange here in half 2, who lead by 21 here.
Well, Hildreth is in the game because Steve Forbes is looking for somebody to defend against Buddy Boeheim. And Hildreth did a really good job right there, forcing Boeheim into a tough shot.
Here's LaRavia, Monsanto, and Hildreth. Trailing by this kind of margin, though. Wade can't wait around long.
And that zone forces you to wait around there, Wes.
And they're playing it well tonight, and there's another turnover. Buddy needs 1 to tie his career high. A regular field goal will give him a new mark. 17 Wake Forest turnovers tonight, by the way, Dan.
Very, very
Gerard.
active defensively up in the Orange.
Couldn't finish on the drive. Williamson out of there with it for the Deacs. Catch and shoot 3. Long by Monsanto.
And Syracuse really doing a nice job. There's no reason to continue to push the ball. You don't want to slow down and lose your momentum, but you don't need to go off running on fast breaks.
Swider.
Mismatch.
Backing down on Williamson. And it'll stay at the Orange end of the floor, but we're going to get a timeout. Well, Buddy Boeheim is sitting on 30. He's 12 of 21 from the floor. He's 6 of 11 from behind the line. And feeling it would be an understatement tonight. Orange in front, commanding lead at the under 4. 85-64, just ahead of 3 minutes to play in the ball game at the Dome tonight in front of a season-high crowd of about 23,000, Dan. And the Orange have to be thinking a little bit about last season, right? They started 2-5, finished 7-2 in their last 9, got to the Sweet 16, 3-6, 9-11 overall. Coming into tonight with a Wednesday night game in Raleigh and a home game with Louisville a week from today on their schedule ahead.
Wes, their schedule, of course, anytime you play in this league, Wes, it seems like about half the games are really, really close games. Now, we don't have a close game tonight, but I'm telling you, Syracuse is shooting 60% from the field tonight, 69% in the second half. And when you shoot the ball like that, you have a chance to win any game you're in.
Saw Monsanto win the missed the front end of the 1-and-1. So Wake Forest, who is, by the way, seen the ACC's leading scorer, Alondis Williams, averaging 20, only with 6. Tried to get his 8th point right there, couldn't, and on the stick back will draw a foul on Anselm. And that is 3 by my count on Frank Anselm from Nigeria.
Alondis Williams, it's really a surprise that he has not scored at a higher rate tonight, because he's a guy who can go get his own shot, even against the zone, as he did right there.
Half dozen turnovers tonight for Williams in 33 minutes as he hits the front end to give him a 7th point.
And yes, he has scored, Williams has, in double figures in every game this year.
And the second one good. So 8 now for Alondis Williams, who had 25 the first time they got together.
Yeah, he got 25
came into the ball game.
12 rebounds.
Yeah, he came into the ball game right around the top 10 assist to turnover ratio, but 4 assists and 6 turnovers won't help those figures at all. And now Girard grinding the game down to 10 on the shot clock before the Orange offense gets to moving. Skip for Swider. Oh my. Shot fake.
He hesitated, Wes. Yep.
Edwards foul line jumper. Jimmy Boeheim the rebound. Back for Girard.
And that's a good decision by Girard to pull it back out.
Buddy Boeheim needs 1 to tie his career high, 2 to set a mark. 5 to shoot. Girard all the way through. Fell off the front rim. Jimmy the rebound and draws the foul from Wake Forest with 2:06 to play. Matthew Marsh, another youngster from England on this roster for Forbes, draws his first and the 8th on Wake Forest. So free throws for Jimmy Boeheim, who missed his only one a moment ago. And that one is good. Quick reminder to you that Monday night, Jordan Cornette gathers the Huddle crew around. They'll release the 2022 Atlantic Coast Conference football schedule. They'll break down what each team has, interviews with head coaches. 2-hour special starts at 7 o'clock right here on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. 6 now for Jimmy Boeheim. And the lead 21.
Yeah, so not only is the lead 21, Syracuse has 87 points, and against conference foes this season, Wake Forest coming in has only given up 68 points a game.
Yeah. Well, the 87 is 16 more than the Orange average in league play. Robert McCray, a freshman from Columbia, South Carolina, misses on the long 3. And now the crowd at the Dome can exhale a little bit. 10th win of the year, 4th in league play coming up for the Orange. And Girard going to work here with 10 to shoot. And here's Swider. Runner off mark. Edwards the catch and flush. And a foul on Buddy Boeheim out in the midcourt area. He'll untuck the jersey because he knows his night's done, Dan. Not in terms of fouls, just in terms of service.
I think he committed that foul so the game would stop and the guys who were waiting to come in could get in the game.
Yeah. Yep, I think you're right. And stops by to get Giannis and Thanasis a handshake on the way to the bench.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Hildreth misses the free throw. Well, and you know, Dan, a moment here about Steve Forbes, because this is going to be this will be a tough loss, especially with Pittsburgh coming to the Joel on Wednesday night. The Deacons, who have not had many bumps here in league play, as you see Marsh get the dunk, they have Pittsburgh, and then next Saturday at Florida State, who took a home loss to sharpshooting Virginia Tech earlier today. So an important time as Wake Forest moves into the month of February.
Yes, this is an important time for everybody, and I always say that this is the Al Davis time of the year. Just win, baby. And so Wake Forest is not going to get the win tonight, but as we have seen throughout this ACC season, it doesn't really matter. There's been some games that have been blowouts. That North Carolina State-North Carolina game is an example today. But for the most part, these games have been pretty hotly contested. It doesn't matter where the teams stand in where the teams rank in the standings.
You see the free throw by Chaz Owens. That's the son of the former Syracuse great Billy Owens. And Cameron Hildreth adds a bucket. That's his first field goal of the game. And now the shot clock and game clock are nearly congruent as we wind down here tonight at the Carrier Dome. And on the drive goes Patty Casey for the basket. 91-72, and Casey gets the bucket. It's his second field goal of the year. They don't have to pull the trigger again if they don't want to, but man, what the heck. And that will do it. Is that going to count? It is.
I think it's going to count.
At the horn for Arthur Cordes. 90. Cordes gets his first basket of the year on a 3 at the horn. Sure, why not? Dan, eerily similar to the rest of the second half for the Orange. 94-72 is the final.